This is going to be an epic battle, and it's going to start on Demon Island. Darwen's going to try and be the first one to get the drop. Couldn't quite get there, though, as Stingray gets a little bit of early damage in here, working that side very well, but Darwen gets a reversal up in the air, trying to recover back up on stage, and we're going to reset back into neutral.
I'm expecting Stingray to maybe swap over to the spear. I watched his match earlier against Guichibu, and that seemed to be kind of the main weapon. Yeah, there you're seeing the immediate swap over to the spear. Nice, jumps over the side sig. A common option of the Artemis is out there. Let's see what he's got. Just a grab against the side light.
All right, Stingray working that edge guard. Has the lance back in hand. Darwen going to fight back on arm, though. Ooh, whiffing the grab to cancel neutral light. Okay, neutral air. Gonna stand with arm back, but we have that scythe now. See what he's gonna be able to do with it.
Yeah, both of them KO %, likely gonna be looking for that KO tool here in a little bit. Stingray generally has been going for like downlight recovery.
The recovery gets stopped though by Darwen. Ooh, reaching down with the dare, couldn't quite get it though. Stingray's gonna get a little bit of a punish off of it. Ooh, the turnaround off of that signature, very, very clean. He's gonna swap it over, he's gonna keep the lance. He's not gonna confirm the stock yet though. He thought about going out there, gonna go ahead and give Stingray a little bit of respect. Ooh, the misstep a little bit. Oh. He didn't touch, bro.
Yeah, I liked the weapon toss up there. You saw Stingray was definitely going for the unarmed edge guard, but Darwen didn't have the movement there, which is crazy because it's Artemis, like 8 movement speed, like you have movement.
Okay, see if he can come back from that little misstep though. He's gonna have to do it with the scythe and in the edge guard. Stingray just kind of stopping, pausing everything, throwing Darwen off a little bit. Ooh, dodge through the nair. But Stingray no follow up, gonna step back, give him the space. Ooh.
Yeah, a little bit of awkwardness on the side of Darwen. I'm expecting like, okay, try to find the finisher. It's gonna be a down air, real deep down there. Nice, I didn't take too long to get it, but man, little like, I don't know how to describe it besides like clumsy trying to find that KO option. A
little bit. I mean, this is game number 1. They probably trying to feel it out just a little bit. We're kind of seeing it looks a little awkward in the neutral from both of them, honestly. Just kind of trying to figure out what the best openers are, the best way. Ooh, Darwen gonna put himself over in between that edge and Stingray yet again. The dare is gonna swing Stingray back over, trying to work it with the aerials off the spear, but Darwen staying out of those hit boxes again, dodging out of the cover, but Stingray gonna follow up with a second one. Darwen just floating. I think he can actually fly at this point.
Nice. Good jump down airs. Darwen's doing a really good job evening out this damage.
Yeah. It's a good point. He did bring it pretty much completely back even, but Stingray is going to be the first one to strike on that second stock, and Darwen's going to have to play catch up yet again. Tries to go straight to work, whiffing on the neutral sig. Stingray had 2 really good opportunities to get some good punishes in and didn't take advantage of either one of them.
Yeah, kind of just Stingray throwing out options, expecting Darwen to swing. Yeah, nice down air again on the side of Darwen. Brought this one pretty much back here, and I'm expecting Darwen to stick with this scythe. That seems to be the main tool.
Yeah, he seems to feel the same way. Not able to keep Stingray off of that weapon drop, though. He's going to have to do it against the spear. Dare into neutral light. Hit the neutral light again. Whiffed on the 3rd attempt, though.
Okay, going real high there. No swings, both of them really just waiting for that one opportunity. You see Darwen finds the opener with that neutral air, but just doesn't quite have a read on how Stingray's going to react.
With that nice fadeaway Sair, able to get a little bit of damage and keep the distance. Darwen's just dancing. He's not wanting to waste any opportunity. If he's going to push the attack button, he's trying to make sure that it is on point and methodical. Ooh, he had a good opportunity for a dare there, but instead he got Saired from Stingray.
Nice.
Oh. Ooh, nice punch from Stingray.
Okay. So gets the touch there. Stingray ends up disengaging. Was expecting Darwen to go a little higher on that one. Goes up for the recovery. Darwen still not able to find counter punishes. A little bit behind in the damage department. Throws out the neutral signature, and Stingray's got a punish. Ooh, little misinput there, or maybe just trying to read. Knew that Darwen's dodge was up, so Stingray missed, but is that enough? Yes, it is.
Absolutely is, and a very hard-fought battle for both of them, but Darwen is going to go ahead and get out front with game number 1, and when you see the breakdown right there, it was 611 damage, and yeah, it really did come down to the scythe that game, Duke. 455 damage, holding it 71% of the time.
Yeah, definitely seemed like a big scythe game on the side of Darwen. On the other side, despite Stingray like trying to lean into the spear, 56% of the time equipped, the damage difference, not that much. 206 on the lance versus 356 on the spear. So it seemed like he was still putting out damage on the lance despite not really holding on to it.
All right, we'll see what happens here in a game. And number 2 is Stingray is now on his back foot, trying to get things tied up going into game number 3. So far, he's doing a fantastic job keeping Darwen off the weapon drop. We're 15 seconds in, and Darwen is just now being able to equip a weapon.
Okay, just a pogo. Ooh, caught the dodge, but again, Darwen not finding much after it.
Which is not a good place you want to be if you're using a string weapon. You definitely need those follow-ups. You definitely need to extend those attacks. Stingray backing all the way up. Darwen able to get in there with a 2-piece. Sarah is going to connect. Stingray interrupting, coming up underneath with the recovery. But Darwen send him right back over to the right side of the stage. Dare's going to send him off stage. Every time he gets Stingray in that position, I think he's going to try and heat up. And Stingray is able to just get back on the stage and bring it right back to neutral. Another Dare.
Ooh, okay. Was expecting Stingray to go high. Darwen using a lot of movement out there, but Stingray full disengage, wanted to have a weapon to go up against Darwen. Down Sig to punish, and it will KO. Stingray classic, man. He's one of the reasons why that Sig got nerfed.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I love the fact that he does disengage all the way. He wants the fight. Let Darwen come all the way back over. Let's do it from neutral. Ooh. Dare from a Darwen. He went over and did it the other way. Stingray's not coming back from that. The weapon throw is going to make sure of it. And Darwen, just like game number 1, a little bit of deja vu. We're seeing him just trail just right behind Stingray every step of the way.
Still starting to find some good damage. Once again, Stingray over to the spear. I'm almost curious if there's a world where Stingray can kind of force Darwen to stick on that lance for a little while longer, see how much that will turn in his favor.
Stingray working the pogos. Darwen daring him off stage, but not following up. You knew Stingray still had plenty of options. Ooh, trying to work that side sig in. Stingray stayed out of the way of it. The gravitational D-light, though, is going to put him at the position. Stingray coming up with a second recovery. Couldn't get the weapon throw on the way back down either. He is going to stay on to the spear. Nair is going to whiff, but that down sig connects again. The weapon throw, he tried to javelin it all the way across the stage. Came in a little shallow. Darwen's now fighting unarmed. Okay, back on the side with the Dare. Stingray, a little early on the recovery. Darwen shutting that one down with the weapon throw. And the neutral sig connects and takes him all the way to the top 45, Duke.
Pretty much the first lead Darwen's really managed to equip at this point in the set. Still, it's not the biggest lead. Darwen's going to be looking for some more. Downlight into the recovery, not quite enough for Stingray.
Ooh, that Nair's going to go ahead and connect. Darwen trying to work him, trying to finesse those follow-ups in there, mix up his options, keep Stingray guessing. Recovery's going to catch Stingray. Now in a good position to work that edge guard. Ooh,
easy
with
punish.
the down sig, Darwen stayed in his tracks that time and did not walk into it. That recovery, though, is going to connect, and Stingray's going to go ahead and get that second stock off of Darwen.
It's really interesting to me how many Spear players have kind of fallen away from using Spear ground pound, because it can be a really good tool, and you're seeing right there Stingray really just closing off options for Darwen. Still, he's behind. Does he have a way in? No, he doesn't. A ground pound from Darwen will be 2-0 lead over Stingray.
Yeah, this got a little more decisive in that game number 2, didn't it, Duke? And we're going to see the stat line come across now, and the 74% equipped. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it was last time. Stingray just not being able to find the same offensive output that we are getting out of Darwen. He did favor the spear, obviously. We all saw it, 277 damage coming off the spear. Just not quite enough, especially when we got towards the end of the game. And he's taking it right back to Demon Island.
All right, this time Stingray starting off with the lance. What's he got with it? Okay, just the classic 2-piece on the lance. Was looking for the grounded route. You have 2 options off that sidelight, right? You can go for the Dare, you can go for the neutral air. It's really just personal preference.
Oh, yeah. Both of these players not want to be the first ones to engage. Whiffed on the Dare. Stingray just getting it with a D-light. Both of them playing super, super safe here.
Yeah, he's playing a little further back. Goes for the double Nair. Went for the recovery setup, but Darwen has him in the open air. Stingray sweat beating, but still manages to come back down safely. Darwen in the red, and it's going to be the spear recovery from Stingray to get the first stock.
And that's a pretty good early stock. I mean, we're 45 seconds in. Stingray is still in yellow. And we are already working into extra credit here on Darwen in game number 3. Darwen with the side sig, though, is going to catch Stingray a little off guard. The neutral light connects as well, but Stingray is going to go and reverse the positioning. Okay, we're going to go and back it up into the center stage, back into neutral. Lance against Lance. Darwin's going to push him off stage.
Ooh.
Stingray comes back with the dare and backs off. No, there's not a whole lot of real pressure coming from either one of these guys off stage.
I really like that option from Darwen to go for that gravity cancel neutral signature. Definitely a risky option, but if Stingray was going to try to continue that pressure, could have shut that down. Instead, Stingray backed up very intelligently, and he's going for more. Goes for the side light side air. Darwen in the open air, still comes back up. Lots of movement, but the down light grab him gets him over the corner.
Ooh, Darwen being able to get that recovery to get back up on stage, but can he get a weapon before he gets snared? No. Oh, he did. He picked up the scythe. Snares his way back on stage. He needs to confirm this stock before he goes down to one. He's not going to do it. The down sig is going to go ahead and take care of it. And Stingray just jumping around, showing the movement, and he's dialed in. One more to go on Darwen here in game number 3.
Yeah, it really feels like Stingray figured out what he needed to do. A lot of it seems to be lean more on the Lance against Darwen's scythe. That's been his predominant tool, and you've seen like so many side light dares, so many downlights as well as Darwen tries to stack up.
Ooh, Dare's going to whiff. Stingray's going to take advantage of it. There's a 2-piece off the back of it. Darwen went a little low. Stingray able to catch him with the neutral light coming back on stage. Ooh, whiffed on the neutral light. Saring him back over. Stingray's now putting that pressure on the edge guard.
Yeah, just playing that spacing game, using that long range. That is one of the things we talk about with Spear, right? Like, it doesn't have the best stacked up tool, and so Stingray's trying to make sure Darwen does not stack up. Side air gonna whiff.
It does make things very, very difficult if you're on Spear. Darwen, though, working the dare. Ooh, gravity cancel side light whiffed. Stingray just backing up. So much respect, so much space.
Darwen in the red. Stingray's going to start looking for that recovery setup. Darwen sweat beating goes over Stingray, but Stingray doesn't swing.
Disarms Infect, but that puts Darwen back on the Lance. Should be a pretty easy cleanup for Stingray at this point. Darwen, though, putting a little more damage on him before he goes. Stingray back on the Lance. Ooh. Couldn't catch a landing, but the down sit catches. And a 2-stock victory for Stingray. 618 damage, man. Doubled up Darwen on that one.
Yep, took a lot of effort there, but you're seeing the damage difference. The swap over leaned on the Lance a little bit more. 47% of the time was on the Lance and was able to put out a lot of damage. 319 damage on that Lance. I really feel like Stingray started to figure out what he needed to do in that matchup. Pretty much just play Lance and then swap over to the Spear for the KO.
It definitely worked out in spades for him that time. Using the entire kit on the Orion. We'll see if he can continue that streak, though, as we get into game number 4. He's got to push it again to game number 5. Stingray is going to be the first to equip a weapon. Darwen going to fight unarmed here in center stage. Backs up and is able to get that scythe on the first drop.
Lots of movement here. Lots of just dancing around, trying to bait the other person, do unaction.
Definitely a very slowed down pace. Okay, Darwen trying to catch Lenny, couldn't. Whipped on the neutral sig, and Stingray gets a good punish. 3-piece off of it, finishing off with the nair there. Darwen, though, is going to slap him with the down air. And the neutral game between these two players is actually really tense.
Ooh.
Side sig, not quite enough.
Just a little too far to the right for that.
Stingray definitely felt it, though. Finish off with the recovery, looking for the second one. Darwen went ahead and got the reversal on it. Eats the weapon throw.
No dodge.
Yep.
And that's going to be the KO. Stingray, full capitalization, saw that the dodge was down because Darwen went for that gravity cancel down light. So Stingray able to get the double down light for the extra damage and the recovery for the off the vertical. Oh. Yep. Yeah,
that was pretty fair. Gonna whiff a down light like that, being stacked. Darwen gonna go and let the down stick fly. Okay. Back-to-back neutral lights. Stingray's on the run, but now he has Spear, and he has been absolutely deadly with it all set long. Nair into recovery. Darwen was ready for it. Could not get the punish off the backside of it, though.
And just a down light. Goes for the neutral signature afterwards. Stingray not really reacting, starting to take a lot of damage here. He's sweat beating, and he doesn't have the drift. Darwen knew it as well, went back towards the stage, and now Darwen with a massive lead could continue on, knocking another top player out.
It is quite the massive lead he's got, Duke. A full stock separates him and Stingray at this point. Stingray fighting to stay in this tournament on Demon Island. So unfortunately for both these players, actually, this is elimination side, so if you don't get it done here, you are done for the day. Okay, Whip though, trying to mix things up a little bit. Darwin's having a very hard time fighting a starter. Stingray's not, though. Finishing off with the Sair. Looking for a good edge guard here. Ooh, a little premature on the down sig. Misses the pogo. Darwen dancing off stage, daring Stingray to go out there and test him. Brings him back in the center stage. Hits him with the down sig. Ooh, it had vision.
Yeah.
It had vision.
You saw the idea there, wanted to capitalize off the weapon hit. Still manages to find the KO blow and has some help to play with. Stingray needs this one if he wants to stay alive and force that game 5.
Well, he's doing a really good job of it so far because he's pretty much taking care of the damage deficit between them. But he's letting Darwen get him off stage like that. Darwen brings it back to reset his stocks. I mean, reset his options. Ooh, pogo.
All right, a little bit of a backup there on Stingray's part, starting to throw out some attacks. Darwen with that range on that downlight, catching Stingray. Damage a little bit in favor of Darwen right now.
By the very slightest amount. That Sair makes it a little bit more, though, and that down sick definitely gets it done. And, of course, we're going to just go ahead and do the gravity cancel emote to put the cherry on top. And that is going to send a Stingray packing as Darwen, by the PR, gets the huge upset.
Massive
and,
upset.
Sends him out of the elimination side.
Yeah. I mean, we saw Darwen's been making upset after upset. Knocked out seed 11 Bunny, knocked out seed 8 Meg D, just knocked out seed 13 Stingray, and now we'll go into seed